Aloha, super friend. Welcome into my third ever Ranking the Albums video. Today I'm going to do an artist that I have been a fan of since my earliest years as a small boy in the winter of Detroit, Michigan. Snow outside on the ground, riding my bike around our small basement, and on the radio was a hit from Elton John, and I never forgot it, and it takes me all the way back to those early years. Coming in at number 10 in my top 10 all-time favorite Elton John albums is Honky Chateau. The two hits on this album that you would know even if you're not a big Elton John fan, Rocket Man, you've heard that one I'm sure, and Honky Cat. Lead track, kind of a title track, sort of. Got that word honky. Honky Chateau at the time, people were thinking that maybe they were referring to the White House. Same thing with Madman Across the Water. They thought Bernie was writing about Richard Nixon, but anyway, this is the only album cover, the only picture I remember of Elton sporting a mustache and a beard. Some good tunes on here. Salvation, kind of very spiritual, and a lot of good songs. Electric violinist virtuoso Jean-Luc Ponty rips on some of these tunes. It's unique and interesting for that reason. Number 10, Honky Chateau. Coming in at number 9. Excuse me. Rock of the Westies was recorded in the Rocky Mountains, apparently, at the studio owned by the manager of the band Chicago, James William Guercio, I believe is his name, Caribou Ranch. And doesn't exist today. Apparently it burned down. This album, a lot of partying going on, a lot of heavy partying, not the original band. The star power that was Elton John had him the biggest star in the world, probably in the mid 70s. This doesn't have the original band on it. He'd let them go in the previous record. One big hit on this album that I absolutely love. It may be even, if I had to pick one, I can't pick one, but Island Girl. What a great song, and that takes me all the way back to when this album came out, and Island Girl was a hit, but Feel Like a Bullet in the Gun of Robert Ford is on here. Grow Some Funk of Your Own that Davy Johnstone wrote. It's kind of a fun story song, but the rest of the album, yeah. Number 8, my top 10 Elton John favorite albums of all time. I still remember the day that this came out. Too Low for Zero. It was highly touted. His original band coming back together for the first time in many years. Nigel Olsson on drums, Dee Murray on bass, and Davy Johnstone, the band leader. Probably arranged all the background vocals that the Elton John band did in all the classic years. I'm Still Standing, of course, was the big hit on this album, not so much Kiss the Bride, but I guess that's why they call it the blues. A lot of people love that tune. Too Low for Zero, Cold as Christmas. Saint, probably my favorite song on this album is a song called Saint. Check it out. At number 7, also recorded Caribou Ranch, and this one's called Caribou. Pretty strong album, a lot of great tunes on here. Opens with Bitches Back, which is a rocker. Somebody apparently at the dinner table said Elton was, in one of his moods. I think it was Bernie's wife at the time. Elton came back in the room, or she said, "The bitch is back," and it's kind of about a moody son of a gun, but he can bitch because he's badder than you. It's the way that he moves and the things that he do. Oh, oh, oh. Anyway, biggest star in the world at this time. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me's on here, or I won't go to that joke, but in any event, Bitches Back and Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me. Biggest songs on here, but my favorite tune on here, if I reach for this, it's to listen to Pinky, which is a beautiful Elton John deep track, Pinky, and also Grimsby, kind of a rockin' tune about a small town in England. Coming in at number 6. I'm going with this one. You may not know it. It's not as it's a big favorite among many Elton John fans, but The Fox. There's no big hits on The Fox. I really love the tune called Just Like Belgium. Probably my favorite song on here, but a song called Chloe, a song called Elton's Song, and of course the title track, The Fox, is kind of cool. It's an interesting Elton John album called The Fox. Check it out. How many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Coming in at number 5. Really like this record. It's called Jump Up. Blue Eyes was a big hit on here, you might remember. After his surgery on the vocal cords, his voice got a little deeper. And I don't mind the deep voice on Blue Eyes, but also on here is the song that they wrote. First, Bernie, of course, wrote the lyrics, as he does, to, oh my gosh, Empty Garden for John Lennon, the assassination of John Lennon, who they both knew obviously very well. Elton is the godfather to Sean, John's younger son. A lot of good songs on here. It's a strong record. Dear John, Spiteful Child, Ball and Chain, Pete Townsend plays some great acoustic rhythm guitar on Jump Up. I recommend this record. Another great song on there, Princess, nice song. I've got 4 albums left in my top 10 favorite Elton John records. Now, you might not be too familiar with this one either if all you know is the hits. 21 at 33. Boy, do I really like this album. I went to the concert this tour, and this would be, I think, a much more prominent Elton album in his catalog had John Lennon not been shot the same week it came out. And of course, that took up all the news, but really strong. Little Genie is the hit that's on here. Great, that's a great song, but also the original band are not on this record, but background vocals, harmony vocals, on I think 3 or 4, maybe 4 songs by the bulk of the Eagles. I think probably Glenn Fry's the only one that I don't remember seeing the name on there, but White Lady, White Powder, great tune. I think it could have been a hit, maybe not because the lyric was about, somebody that liked to go skiing right after it snowed, White Lady, White Powder, but all kidding aside, great tune. 2 Rooms at the End of the World is a song that Bernie wrote, of course, about their writing partnership. He writes the words and Elton writes the melody and the music, but they're never together when they work on the songs. Sartorial Eloquence, I really like that song. I had to look up, what does sartorial mean? It means well-dressed. Sartorial Eloquence is on here. Chasing the Crown, some ripping lead guitar. I think that might be Steve Lukather from Toto. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And yeah, Take Me Back is a cool tune. I really like this album. It's my number 4 top Elton John record of all time. Coming in at number 3. Boy, this one could easily be at number 2. And it always really has been until I really decided to do this list. But Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. Hits on this record, the opening track, Daniel, which, if you ever saw me do karaoke, or as I call it, choreoke, you might have seen me just kill singing Daniel. Crocodile Rock was my favorite song in 8th grade. That's on here also. But High Flying Bird, Blues for Baby and Me, Teenage Idol Texan love song. This is one of my favorite, no doubt, Elton John albums of all time. Teacher, I Need You. I used to play and sing that one quite a bit in a band. Number two. This one is number two, even though there's songs, I mean, it's probably the best sounding Elton John record and some great songs to be sure. Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. This is only half of the artwork that came with the album at the time. There was a foldable poster that came with it and a really extensive booklet. This is the band at the peak of their powers, Nigel, Dee, and Davey, along with Elton. Someone Saved My Life Tonight is on this, and I had that 45 as a kid. And the B-side on that is part of why I've got this at number two on the 45 of Someone Saved My Life Tonight, which is arguably the best Elton John song ever. Had a song called House of Cards on the back of the 45. Now you can hear House of Cards on the Rare Masters 2 CD set. I've got that. Another reason why this album is my number two, because during this time period, they also recorded a couple killer singles that were also huge hits. Philadelphia Freedom, Philadelphia. You know what he said he was thinking? He asked Bernie to write a song. He was playing tennis at the time with his friend Billie Jean King, who was a tennis star at the time. And he found a lot in their friendship. She'd been out of the closet as a lesbian. Of course, we learned Elton was gay, not long probably before this album came out. But Philadelphia Freedom, when Elton is singing Philadelphia, he says he's imitating how Billie Jean King would yell at the tennis referee. You call them referees. You cannot be serious. Anyway, Philadelphia Freedom and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Oh my gosh, the Beatles cover tune. I mean, think about it. Elton John covered a Who song, Pinball Wizard. Way better than the Who, and I love the Who, but Elton's version kicked ass on the Who's version. And then Bernie says it was his idea, but Elton said then he asked John Lennon what Beatles song would he like him to cover, and he said Lucy in the Sky. And if you haven't heard that version, Elton's version is better than the Beatles version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I still remember roller skating at the roller rink. Pretty young, right? And that song is playing on the stereo system. This is a very strong record. The closer, couple closing tracks, Curtains, We All Fall in Love Sometimes, some of the best Elton John rare tracks. But that's my number two. For those reasons, Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. And then it's not unusual to see this album come up as the favorite Elton John album by Elton John fans, but I've had it since I was 13 years old. And the song that was a hit that came on the radio when I was a boy, maybe around 8 or 9 years old in the winter, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. What a great song and what a great album. I think this is the best double album of all time. I like it better than the Beatles' White Album, and I've never heard of a double album I like better than this one because I like songs. I'm a songwriter also, and I used to just stare at Bernie's lyrics, which always came with the album, and I studied them because he's uniquely amazing. Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding is the opening track. Boy, if you haven't heard that at least once in your life, check that out. Excuse me, then Candle in the Wind. Benny and the Jets. That's side one. Side two has Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, that great tune that first caught my ear as a boy. Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. Harmony. The closing track is so strong. Roy Rogers, Social Disease. All the Young Girls Love Alice, which was actually written just that one line about Alice Cooper. Bernie, the lyric writer, and Alice Cooper, still to this day great friends. And in any event, those are my top 10 favorites. Albums by Elton John, one of my all-time favorite artists. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. Have a beautiful day. Happiness and peace.